Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishthaye Ramakrishnaya te namah. Janनीं शारदां देवी रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोस्तत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः. नमः श्री यतिराजाय विवेकानंद सूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. So we are going through this text, crest jewel of discrimination. Chudamani, Vivekachudamani. As we have been discussing again and again, इसमें ज़्यादा कुछ अलग-अलग कुछ नहीं है. The same thing is being repeated and hammered again and again, so that really enters our heart, enters our mind, completely permeates our personality. Every sloka, every other sloka again points in the same direction. Maybe because why Shankaracharya wrote this very special text, because this one quality, one discipline, one practice can completely change your life. And this is one thing, the lack of this aspect is what is leading to so much of sorrow, suffering, dukkha, everything is because of that. Aviveki, the person without discrimination. You see, in anything, any problem, any difficulty, any fight, anything you tell me, immediately we can point out, this is because this person does not have the discrimination. Anything, any wicked thing you are about to do, any bad thing you are able to do, any wrong thing you are able to do, anywhere you have to falter. What is this? Because at that moment, the discrimination between what is right and what is wrong, what is real and what is unreal, what is to be done and what is not to be, kim kartavya, kim akartavya, that is lost, you are gone. So if you can hold on to that, wherever you are, so you see, that is why anywhere you can practice this and everywhere you must practice this. Then only there can be stability in life, there can be meaningfulness in life. Then only you can steer clear of difficulties and progress in spiritual. इसलिए साधना चतुष्टय में पहला चीज रखा नित्य अनित्य वस्तु विवेक. Because this is the starting point, filter. If you fail there, you are gone. Because no, the other things follow as a matter. See, once you have this, then iha amutra phalabhoga viraga, namely vairagya. Once you have viveka, vairagya is bound to follow. Because once you know what is real and unreal, you are not going to go towards unreal, you are going to go only towards real. And vairagya will become integral part of your life. Because why we don't have vairagya? Because we run after anitya. We run after that which is unreal, that which is impermanent, that which is attractive, that which is alluring, that which is tempting us. Why we are going? Because we have failed the test of nitya anitya. If you pass the test, obviously you will not run after. And if it is there, obviously when you have viveka and then you have vairagya, then mumukshutva is bound to come. The desire for liberation. See, the moment you have this viveka, then vairagya follows. You start giving up. Once you start giving up, what is to be got in this world? We are here. We have this body, we have this relationship, we have this assets, we have these liabilities, we have all that, sukha, dukkha, everything. The moment these two operate very strongly in our life, this viveka as well as this vairagya, mumukshutva is a matter of consequence. Aega, because you know what will you do? You have known what is real and unreal. You have not interested in it is unreal. What is the real thing? The real thing will automatically lead you only towards the search for mukti, because to get the real thing, you are completely free from all that, and that is the only thing worth attaining, and you go towards it. Then naturally, as one of the good ways of this thing is Mahapurusha Samshraya, the company of the holy, company of the enlightened. Why? Because even the mind, when it gets Viveka and Vairagya and all that, see this Viveka, Vairagya, and also the desire for liberation, they all operate at the level of the mind. That's why he's spending so much time on Manomaya question. All that operate essentially at the level of the mind. So, yes, you may have all that, but then if you fall into bad company, the moment the mind gets colored immediately and it goes the wrong way. So people, all of us who commit mistakes and go the wrong way, etc., is not because we don't know. We know. Then in that moment of temptation, simply it takes the wrong route, falls prey to that, and we are completely misguided. So what does Mahaprashankshraya do is it helps the mind focus again and again on this Viveka and Vairagya and the resultant moksha. That is the benefit of, because Mahapurusha Sankshraya means not ordinary. कुछ भगवत तारीफ ही नहीं है. Really, the person who is established in all this, who is established in Viveka, established in Vairagya, established in Muktvas, got experiences, realized soul or whatever it is, what happens? The very ambient, the very atmosphere, the mind gets uplifted. Why do we come for a class? Why do we come for a charcha? The moment you talk of that, the mind gets uplifted. Again, if you keep it in a wrongful place, again it goes down. So this Mahapurusha is given at the end of it. If you have Viveka, Vairagya and Mumukshutva, one of the ways for sustaining it, because these are largely mental states, the states of the mind, to keep it in that constant state so that becomes a permanent realization afterwards, is to keep it in that kind of an ambience or atmosphere whereby constantly you hear such things. Constantly you are reminded about the purpose of life. Constantly you are told what is Viveka, what is Vairagya, where you are going wrong, what is the attraction, why you should stay away from all that. So when you see such a glowing example before you, you also feel, yes, not only that, you see, what is the pramana of Shastras? Shastras has wonderful truths are given. Shastra pramana is the first pramana. But then how do Shastras get really justified? Yes, it is all written. Is it true? Yes, here is a person who has lived up to the Shastras. The moment you see him, your belief, your faith in Shastras, they get strengthened. You feel like, yes, this is all true. As a which kahani nahi hai, we can also follow, we can also live that life. To give you that certainty, you need such lives. Is it not? यद्यत् आचर्ति शीर्षः तत्येव इतरो जना शयत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते. What do such people do? Shrestha, they follow the Shastras. Whatever is given in the Shastras, literally they are the examples of the Shastra. So that is why this sadhana chatushta is constructed like that to start with. So again, finally, he says, what is to be done? Because again he hammered the idea that it's all the ajnana. First of all, he started ajnana is in the mind. The wrong knowledge or the illusion or the darkness or everything. It's all in the mind. And finally ended up he saying, mind itself is ajnana. There is no ajnana apart from the mind. That is how he ended the discussion. Why? Because what is the locus of ajnana? अज्ञाना आपकी प्रकट होने के लिए, आपके ऊपर कुछ प्रभाव फेंकने के लिए, you need an operating medium, is it not? Jnana is something, it is there, it is no. Once it comes into your mind, only it operates. That is, Jnana by itself, it has no sanctity, it has no life, it has no meaning, it has nothing. So once it comes into your mind, then only it can operate. That is, Jnana by itself has no existence, it is not an entity at all. This darkness, this illusion, this delusion, this Brahm, this everything happens only when it is in the mind. Otherwise, there is nothing called ajnana, because we know the way ajnana operates, the way it dilutes, the way it misleads you. All that is okay. But where from it does, what is its support, where from it operates? It's only in the mind. Is there anything apart from, do you see ajnana anywhere else? Does it operate anywhere else? No, only in the mind. So is there no need to have two separate things? The mind itself is ajnana. That's how we kind of conclude. But then obviously, this bandhan, how to get rid of it is one of the questions which the Shishya asked in the beginning. What is Paramatman, what is Jivatman, what is the Sampalka, all that, how it has got, what is his bondages occurred, all those very serious number of questions we discussed in the beginning. And then one of the questions is, how does one get liberated? It's all there, I know, this is the problem, okay, what is the solution? Then he says, as we saw last time, Manassodhanam, purification of men, prayatnena mumuksha. Again and again, we are repeatedly trying because it doesn't happen in the first time. There's so much of accumulation, accrustations. अभी बहुत अच्छे से घिसा करके रफ करना है. Again and again you do it, and then finally when it becomes purified, then what happens? Mukti karafalayate. As if the fruit in the palm of your hand. What is the best way to see anything? Where do you get the maximum focus? On your foot, you have to bend down and see. On your thighs, you have to bend down and see. On your chest, you have to bend down. If it is outside, you have to stretch and see. But the best vision you get is if something is on your hand. This is the best way to look at something. That's why it is said. It did not say muh falayate or nasika falayate. They don't say it. Kara falayate because this is the best way. It's as transparent, as clear, as sparkling as a fruit on the palm of your hand. You can never miss it because the moment you open your thing, first thing is the fruit on the palm. So it is as simple as that because Vishuddhe sati chetasmin mukti karafalayate. Supposing once the mind is purified, then absolutely mukti is assured totally. There is nothing to stop it. Because why? All that impurities, all the results of wrong understanding, ajnana, they've all got accumulated only in the mind. Nowhere else they are present. So once the mind is completely got rid of all that, once the mind complete washing and cleaning and purifying the mind happens, then the mind becomes so powerful, it's capable of reflecting the highest truth. And then only nothing else remains in such a mind. It only again and again reflects the highest truth, namely the Atman, namely the Chaitanya, namely the Turiya. Then you are assured. So purification of the mind is the greatest task that needs to be undertaken. And not only that, because again and again the old samskaras can come and cloud our vision and again make it impure. That's why they say constantly the company of the holy. Mahapurusha Samshaya, as he calls it. That is constantly the decision. Thakur also again says sadhu sangha, satsanga. What is the way? Satsanga, sadhu sangha. Because again and again, to attract the mind. Why people run to great sadhus? Somewhere we hear, see, you may say all that, so much of modernity, so much of power, so much of money, so much of attraction, so much of everything. But still, supposing there is a news, there is a wonderful sadhu, run, such a crowd, lakhs of people go. How is it possible? It's all modern world, so much of allurement, so much of enjoyment, money, power, fighting, everything. But still, even now, wherever, not only in India, there are also in other countries, there are so many people, Nadhya Shanti, Shunyamani, and Eckhart Tolle and all that. Their retreats are hugely charged. But people go. Not only that, they can somebody who participated, they said, they can kind of hold you and make you do certain sadhana, that kind of power. So wherever it is, Indians are also rushing. They don't mind whether they are American or anybody. Wherever, that's why you see these things, this idea of a liberation, idea of a wonderful spiritual life, this attraction would remain. Whatever happened, whether there is Russia-Ukraine war or there is nuclear war or a world war or anything, all this will also keep happening constantly, because these are all eternal truths, eternal pursuits. So no one can be complete. No, these things will not end at all. Wherever it is, whenever we, of course, for every good there are 10 fake and there are 100 duplicity, everything. But still, people run. Kuch mil jaye. Somewhere we get it. Everyone wants peace. Everyone is suffering, whether you're a millionaire, a billionaire, a pauper, a beggar, or anybody. Everyone wants peace, everyone wants happiness. They run. And the key is purifying the mind. Not only that, otherwise our samskaras, Thakur gives a beautiful example, no? In that talav, in that pukur, you remove those weeds, when they have covered the water, you remove them, you see the beautiful, pure water beneath, but immediately they go and come and cover. So in the mind, something might reflect because you have done sadhana, some purification has happened, but unless you sustain it, unless you fortify it again and again, with more and more and more and more, and not allow any deviation, again it will go back to the old ways. Because you see, good samskaras are very difficult. Negative samskaras, every second we keep gathering, no problem at all. Somewhere something, yes, take it immediately. But to do it in a sustained way, day after day, that is the real test. Because why? What is the difficulty? Because in spiritual life, you don't see like sex going up or stock market going up or something like money multiplying. No, you don't see at all. अरे भाई जाए 15 साल 20 साल 25 साल हो गया, क्या हुआ? If you really understand, if you reflect, again for that also this Viveka discrimination is necessary. What I did, what I am doing now, where I was, where I am now. Then you will understand. If you have consistently done the sadhana, if you have been very diligent with nishtha, then you will understand over the years what kind of improvement has come over your mind, how you are able to understand truth from the falsehood, how these Viveka and Vairagya is operating in your life. But to sustain it, you need constant fuel. Otherwise, it will burn. It will be extinguished. The fire will be extinguished. What is the constant fuel? We talk again and again. To induce allurement, etc., you need the vasanas of Vishayas, etc., etc. To kindle the fire of Vairagya and keep it burning, you need such company, such holy company that will make you again and again participate in such acts. What happens when Ramakrishna comes to any devotee's house, anywhere, Balaram, here, there, no talk, nothing. He'll come, as soon as he comes, in a matter of few minutes, everybody will sit down and he will start some great discussion about some wonderful spiritual ideas. Then somebody will sing beautifully. Then he will start dancing. Everybody will dance. Then 2 hours, 2.5 hours, completely immersed in that. Then he will give a little relaxation. People will sit down and then some refreshment will be shared, etc. Either he will continue those talks or he will go to the next place. So in 2 hours, 2.5 hours, completely uplifted. But then it's not possible if you do it once. I have to do it again and again. So in a sustained way. That's why he says, Manashodhanam karyam prayatnena. Okay. Then what is that? Again further explains, Moksheka Saktiya Vishayeshu Ragam Nirmulya Sanyasya Cha Sarva Karma Yat Shraddhaya Yat Shravanadi Nishto Rajaswabhavam Sa Dhunoti Buddhehe. So, we started this sloka, we did also part of it. It says, by the Moksheka Sakya, that one Shakti, that one desire for liberation, but is so strong, then Vishayesha Ragam Nirmulya Sanyasya Sarvakar, giving up all activities, completely uprooting, Nirmulya, from the roots. Sometimes you cut trees, etc., at the surface level, the roots remain, again they come, again they sprout, again they sprout. So if you want to remove the weeds, go up to the roots. Nirmulya, from Mula you must uproot them completely. Nirmulya Raga, completely uproot the vasanas, then by giving up all action, yes, Shraddhaya is Shraddha. Shraddha is so important, no? Even the Kadopanish says, Shraddha viveshaso manyata. He was overcome by Shraddha. Ushanasravai Vajasravasa Sarva Veda Sandado Tasya Nachiketa Namajatam Kumara Santam Dakshinaya Niyamanasu Shraddha Vivesha Somanya. He was overcome by Shraddha. He saw his father giving old decrepit cows to the Atithis as dana, as charity. He did not get virakti. He did not get angry. He did not get irritated. He was overcome by Shraddha. If he had got irritated, he would have gone, fought his father, he would have slapped him, he would have done something, he would have walked out of the house, he would have done something useless. If he had been overcome by ashraddha or anger or irritation or something. But he was Shraddha, Vivesh, Avivesh, he was overcome, completely overpowered with Shraddha. As a result of which, he thought that something needs to be done. Why Shraddha? Shraddha in the Shastra Vakyas. The Shastra says if you do dana like this is the result. Because he does not, he only follows the Shastras. The dana should be best. It's not like as we do in many houses, Durga Puja. For themselves, they purchase 10,000 watt saris. For mother, 20 rupees. Like, some net like saris. That is all. Best food, everything. All kinds of vegetarian, non-vegetarian. For mother, cheapest sandesh available. Because somehow distributed. That is not Shraddha. Because he saw the Shastras clearly say that this is the effect. If you give dana this way, this is what will happen. So he was so much, because he had so much Shraddha in Shastras, he was overcome by his Shraddha of Shastras. He thought that my father can't suffer this. He did not have irritation and anger. He was so much yet Shraddha for his father, for his Shastras, for elders, for everything, for the Shrutis. He thought, no. I must, although I may be young, I must do something so that my father is, saved from this terrible sin of giving useless old decrepit cows to the Atithis and Brahmanas. That's why ultimately he ended up conquering death and he became so famous as Nachiketa. So here also he says, Shraddhaya Savanadi Nishtaha Rajasvabhamsa Dhunoti Buddhehe. They completely destroy the Rajasvabhava. If you Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, if you do, and if you do with Shraddha, what is the way of Manashodhanam? This is a Manashodhanam. You have to hear, you have to then bring it back again into the mind, because you may hear here and there. What Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana? Roughly you can translate like this. First is hearing from here, there, every class, by reading books, everywhere. Then the first impression, it goes over the head. Maybe here and there we catch. Then you ruminate, think deeply about it. What is it that I heard? Is it relevant? Does it make sense? Can I follow that? What is all that? So again you bring back. Thakur says, the cow eats hurriedly and brings back. Again munches it deeply and digests. Like that, whatever you heard, bring back to the forefront of your mind. Again you try to find out, yes, does it make sense? Is it okay? That is logical. Can I follow it? Does it make sense to me? That is then, manana, again and again, by manthan, by churning, you bring back, keep it at the front. Then once you are sure of that, then nididhyasana. You go into deep contemplation, then slowly they get transformed into your own personal kind of experience that way. The deeper you go, the deeper you meditate, they become more and more. So, he says, a Savanadi with Nishtha, with tremendous Nishtha. Again and again, Nishtha is the, see, most of us, all of us do some sadhana rather. What is really lacking in our life is Nishtha. Today something is there, World Cup is there, we'll give up Java, we'll see that and we'll do tomorrow. Something will come that will. Like that every day, what we postpone? Only our sadhana. Acha, ek kaal kar lenge. Arey, poshu kar lenge. Arey, itna mat karo. Somebody will say, arey, don't waste that. So, but Nishtha is, come what may. Day after day, without. Actually, the real power, the mantra shakti, how does that become really awakened? There are people who have said that you do 1 crore Gayatri Japa, this will happen. It happened to people's lives. Somebody was in a terrible disaster. Somebody said 1 crore Gayatri Japa he did, and the problem was removed. Like this mantra, see, there are only certain syllables. But the more and more and more and more you repeat, particularly with a particular attitude, with that concentration, with that bhava, they become really powerful. Because so many people are being diksha, same mantra. Why is it somebody is only the moment they sit for meditation or japa, they sleep? Somebody are so alert and they do so many, like they are not satisfied. Even after doing 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, more, aro karna hai. So, the more you do, they become powerful. Then only they, see, it's all very famous in our lore, in our history. There are so many people, lesser mantra there, Gayatri mantra siddhas are there. Those who have done this Nilkanta mantra siddha, I've seen in my own life, a great grandfather, he was a Nilkanta mantra, somebody had given him upadesha. He was so austere, he would never wear even upper garment, only dhoti. And he'd be sitting, in the village houses, there is a raised platform, like when you enter, people can sit there. Door is there on both sides, in some house at least one side. He'll be sitting there. People will bring from long distances. Those days, by coming by bullock cart was a tradition. The whole body has become blue. Foam is what used to coming out of the mouth. You start half an hour, 1 hour to get cleared and you'll walk free. No medicine, simply because not only when they come, day and night he'll be doing only that. Because he had done so much, because so powerful and so unselfish. If anyone brings fruits and take away, nothing, not a iota should enter inside. Strict order, nothing is to be brought, not even a piece of fruit. But because he was kind of, he had enough lands and this and that. Whoever comes, poor people come, they will feed or give buttermilk, something, because after that, some will feel so exhausted. But people have literally seen from that condition coming back to kind of life. That is the power of mantra. So, Shravanadi, only Nishta, again and again. You do it, then it becomes. We see so many of these, the power generation, hydro projects. What exactly? A turbine, water is falling, turbine is rotating. Same monotonous. Is there any variation? Is there anything? Nothing. Same thing. Day after day, day after day, day after. What is the result? Lakhs of villages can be lighted up. That is the power. Our Nishtha is like that. Same thing. There's nothing, no variety. You cannot do every day different japa. Same japa, day after day, day after day. If you do, it's like that. It generates so much of power. For that, you need that kind of Nishtha, then it is possible. But then here he brings one idea that needs really understanding. That's where we virtually stop. He clearly says, Sarva Karma Sannyasi. He was very emphatic, Shankaracharya, traditional. All action should be totally given. No activity. Because why he says? The moment activity starts, the mind comes down to the level of the body. Because no activity is possible either with the body or with the mind. We can have a lot of mental activities, but much more than that, largely it is on physical activities, bodily activities. But the moment you descend to the level of the body and mind, all your idea of oneness is gone. All your idea of the ultimate truth is gone. All your idea of pursuit of Advaita is gone. Chaitanya is gone. Turiya is gone. Everything is gone. So that is why they were, not only that, the moment you indulge, it brings fruits. The moment you do karma, there is karma phala. Then kartitva, bhoktitva bhav. I am the karta, I am the bhokta. That brings attachment. Then that brings you sorrow, suffering. Then it is from karma phala. That is gets translated even beyond the body. Because in this life you cannot exhaust everything. It goes on and on and on endlessly. There is samsarati iti samsara. Again and again in that unending, unbreaking cycle, it goes on and on and on endlessly. That's why it's called samsara. So they say, if you have to break this chain of samsara, you must cut off. He himself says that Nitya Naimittika Shastravita karmas up to certain stage of life you must do. You understand? But after that, he says for Chitta Shuddhi, you must do all that. But beyond that, you have to do only Shravan Mana Nididhyasan, completely giving up everything. Yes, that is true. No one detests that. Swamiji also does not disagree. But how many can really do this? 1 in a million probably. Because many of us, in the preparation itself, our life will be gone. By the time we become to the state of Shravanam and Vijayatma, we are already gone. Are so old and so decrepit and so powerless. Here pain, can't sit, can't stand, can't lie down, can't sleep, can't digest, hundreds of problems. Then day and night, only thinking, what is the manana? Only about body. This disease, that disease, this sleep, that. Rather it becomes ulta. So Swamiji clearly said, seeing all that, only mukhe Vedanta, only in mouth, all that. In practice, ghor vishay. Totally dependent on body and mind. Nothing else. Total body consciousness only. So he said, forget all that. Maybe only a rarest of the rare, the sadhaka is eligible for this. In fact, Swamiji himself had a great debate in his mind. Whether I should take a few people and take them to the highest state of realization, train them like that, or set in motion something which will be vast but may not be that deep. Between the depth and the breadth, he chose that breadth or vastness. That's why he started this. He knew, like people like us will all come, be part of it. We are all given an entry. Supposing they apply sadhana Jose, सबको लात मार के फेंक देते थे हम सबको. None of us would qualify if you apply sadhana. We are all gone. Only you have to go for the wayside. There's no, आप भी आ जाओ. You also come. You are eligible. You try. You start somewhere. He gave us a small little opening. आ जाओ. So today lakhs and lakhs of people are part of this tradition, whereby they are doing. Out of this also, greatest of realized souls have emerged. Even up to the last generation, we have heard people like Shankaranji, Vishuddhananji, people like even Shantananji used to constantly hear Anatha Dhvani. They all lived up to 73, 75, 78, like. So now also maybe here and there some other, we don't know. When they die, we come to know they were so great like that. So in this tradition, highest, or even those who are struggling, who are in the kindergarten, yes, it is a huge university. From kindergarten to postdoctoral work, everything is possible. You come, you see in which class you fit in. I am not going to admit you. You take admission. Wherever you want, you get admitted. Class, kindergarten, preschool, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, high school, graduation, post-graduation, PhD, beyond PhD, come. Choice is yours. But you must prove. You cannot say, I am going to PhD and you can't solve a simple equation of the subject. Then they'll throw you out. So he has given a wide berth opening for everybody. See, Swamiji had thoroughly studied the Shastras. He knew what was Shankara's idea. He did not say Shankara said these or that, right or wrong. He never went into the discussion at all. The goal ultimately same. But this Ravanadi with Nishta, only 1 in a million will be able to do that. So what he said was, rather, you start from where you are. That's why Swamiji Samari says, man travels from the lower truth to higher truth, not from truth to falsehood. So wherever you are, you begin. Begin sincerely. Now you will do 2 days, 3 days you will not be able to do, again you will do, again you will not do. The whole choice is yours. But he says, if you do intensely this Nishkam Karma, moreover, why Swamiji did this was, that's why people like Swamiji, they come for every yuga to again reiterate, re-establish the Sanatana Dharma, but with a slight new flavor, a different flavor, which is more suitable to the times. Because in those days, in Shankara's time, etc., there was not so much need for this kind of Nishkam Karma. Because anyone comes to your place at the time of food, you will be fed. There is no one in the society, in the community who would go hungry. You may be a Jamindar, but whoever comes, kitchen is open. There was no need to set up separate charity or dharamshala. Every house was like a dharamshala. Panchamahayajna was compulsory for everybody. The rinna to the 5 rinnas, to birds, the animals, to the children, to all people, to the beggars, visitors. Everybody had to be taken care of. They're all part of dharma, part of daily life. So this kind of a thing really arose with times. During Swamiji's time, he went on a Bharat Parikrama. He clearly saw the kind of society that was. All those old values had completely vanished. People have become completely self-centered. Me and myself, it has become much worse now. Even between husband and wife, I am separate, you are separate. My bank account, your bank account. My money, my food, my assets. It has become such a terrible division. It was not there. So he saw that society needs a different approach. And he also saw that the kind of disciplines which Shankara was talking about, absolutely impossible for the modern man. So he said, yes, let us make a different beginning. You do very intense, absolutely unselfish work, even to the point of death. Of course, he did not say, somewhere you give some 50 rupees to some beggar, something, that's the end of it. No. In the story from Mahabharata, which is states in Karma Yoga, about the mongoose, which half of his body normal, half in gold. How is it how a family of Brahmins, they sacrifice an entire life, one speck of grain lying on the floor, I rolled over, I got converted into gold. I have never seen a sacrifice. So he says the total self-abnegation, complete giving up oneself, even to the point of death. That is the highest ideal of Karma Yoga, he said. So again, he also has set a high ideal. But the beauty is, there is scope for every entrant. Whosoever you want, you can make a beginning. No problem. You go from where you are. Improve yourself. Do more of it. Do more of it. Do more of it. At one point of time, that's why he says, Manashodhanam. When the mind has become completely pure. What happens when you do intense Nishkam Karma? See, it keeps on, in the chitta. Whatever you do, that leaves a mark. The mind captures the memory part. Anything that you do, good, bad, worse, ugly, extraordinary, everything is captured. So, already the surface has so many things. You keep on piling good samskaras, more. So much of piling. All that was worthless earlier, they get either completely erased or so blunted, they are unable to sprout again. See what happens, why we indulge again and again. There's already some accumulation in our mind. So when something very similar occurs, it gets ignited. It jumps up that samskara. Again we go and do the same thing. With the same example, you will laugh. Let me change it to Amriti. Supposing you have eaten Amriti. So after some months, so it has got registered. The chitta, it has left a vritti in the chitta. So later on you see something, some chain like some red color. Again you rush to Bangla sweet. Immediately I mistake Amriti. Boy, my mouth is watering. So again you go and do. But when you do Nishkam Karma to such an extent, all these things start getting either erased or blunted to such an extent, they attain what is called Dagda Bija Avastha, like burnt seeds. When the seeds are burnt, they don't sprout again. They may be there in the form of seeds. They may be in the form of akar, the samskaras, maybe in the mind, but they no longer have the capacity to sprout or come up again. Then what happens? The new samskaras you plant there, then the mind becomes capable of receiving such instructions. See, even if you hear from a great acharya or a realized soul, unless there is a certain amount of preparedness, you will not be able to. That's why they will select only after sadhana churcha, great people, the olden days. Now everything is available. Suppose you hook on to some YouTube channel. You will listen to Sarva Priyananda, this Priyananda, that Priyananda, Apriyananda, somebody. What will happen? Unless you have that, it's like seeing a film in a Netflix channel. No difference. So if there is preparedness, if the mind is prepared, definitely it will catch. So to do that, by doing this, completely blunting or erasing the old useless samskaras, the mind becomes a very fertile soil. fertile for such great ideas, for such great truths. Then in such a mind, when you hear, that's what the olden days, completely given up everything. So prepare yourself. Nitya, Naimitya Kamas, everything done. All these other Sri Vachara done. Ready. When you hear the Mahavakyas, Prabhraje completely goes as a Parivrajaka. Because you have heard it immediately like a lightning, it like a spark, it catches, you're gone. Completely you are liberated. See, that's what in the olden days the sannyasa means. You are so prepared, the mind is so attuned to these ideas. The moment you hear it, you can't read it from a book, from a person who has realized, who is himself that kind of a Mahapurusha. The moment you hear it, immediately it's lighted up in your heart and you simply go. That's all. You don't come back. There is no turning back from Ravrajit. The moment you hear that Mahavakya, that's the tradition. So to prepare that, Swamiji said, it's not possible for ordinary minds. You do that. Those truths are there. But what he said was, when you do such intense karma yoga, of such intense nishkam karma, what will happen? Completely, what exactly is the problem, even in the traditional thing? How to erase this I completely? Ahankara. Erase of ego. That is the greatest task before us. What is preventing us from realizing higher truths? What is preventing? Me and mine. Me or mera. I and mine. Ahankara. And the possession. Kartritva, bhoktritva. So when you do such kind of this thing, all this so the complete I-ness gets completely kind of erased. So automatically, this Naishkarmya which Shankaracharya talks of deliberately giving up, Swamiji perhaps means that would come spontaneously. You have done such intensity. You did not give up. Rather, you did more, you did more, you did more. To such an extent, the mind becomes completely free from anything else. And in such a mind, there's total sense of calmness, total sense of Naishkarmya. Then anything that is heard from a superior, that kind of a soul, immediately you go to that stage. So Swamiji also talked about the same, about the ultimate truth of Shankara. But apparently he gave emphasis on some other point, that's all. He did not say anything differently. But a path which is very relevant and meaningful for the modern mind, for people like you, me, and others. So that is the difference, and that is what is a very special contribution of Swamiji. Otherwise, if you read it, every second sloka Shankaracharya says this. Sarva karma sannyasya. Completely giving up all activity. That's what he stresses again and again. So, obviously, when we hear, it's a conflict in our mind. Shankaracharya says completely give up everything. I find this Swami day and night busy running around, doing this, that, everything. What is it? He's talking one thing. His life is total duplicity. No. The truth is very much there. How much we can do? What's possible for us? What is the desired route for us? We must choose a path. They say path of least resistance, where we don't have to struggle against the tide. When you swim, if you want to swim against the tide, you have to swim. If you swim with the tide itself takes you forward very fast. You don't have to put even an effort. So that way, what Swamiji has said is, see, all of you, in the modern world, we are given a tremendous, the tendency, vritti to perform, to act. Even if nothing is there, you start breaking something, doing something, because you can't keep quiet. I'm चुप रहे तख्त पर ही मेरा चुप रहना बहुत मुश्किल है मैं कुछ करना ही है क्या करो करना ही है so instead of doing इधर उधर नहीं करके जो बोला गया if you do that Swamiji's taught that's why he said Atmano mokshatam jagatitaya some good will happen to the world. Really, he said the main thing is Atmano mokshatam. The goal is mukti, oneself. Jad hitaya cha. Welfare will also come. That's a byproduct or incident. If you think that I am going to liberate the world, you are gone. You will be in greater bandhan, greater bondage. I am doing it for my mukti. खुद के लिए, अपना के लिए, मेरा मोक्ष के लिए मैं कर रहा हूं. If you remember that and you strive, you will be going forward. Incidentally, something will be happening. Something will be, the downstream industries, the main industries there, from the byproducts, offshoots, so many other auxiliary industries come up, these come up. Like that, you are working very steadfastly for your ultimate goal or moksha or whatever it is. But all these are all happening as byproduct by itself. You don't say that I am going to do this, I am going to liberate, I am going to provide. But normally that's where we get caught. Again, you think that we are doing it. I have done this orphanage, I have fed so many in the relief, I have done all that. Then all your idea of this thing is gone. Then you have to go with the Shankara way only, because this is where the problem is. Immediately the kartritva, bhoktitva, bhav will come and will be finished. So if you can clearly stay clearly of these pitfalls, then this is a wonderful idea. So we have to choose ourselves and see what will work for us, and accordingly we have to shape our lives. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna. What happens now? Next week, Sunday is Christmas, we will not be meeting. Then first is Kalpataru. We will see. Then we can meet again. Huh? ये तो Saturday तो class नहीं होता है ना. Saturday दूसरा कुछ. Friday, next Friday will meet. 23rd will meet.